Alright, guys. I didn't even realize that the Eagles are playing tomorrow, so, I have to make a video for it. I just do. I can't not make a video for the Eagles, right? That's my team, right? So I'll make a video for it. Bear with me. I haven't looked at the slate, but I got PFF up. I got pricing up. We'll figure it out together. But first, we can take a look back at my NFL lineups from today. So we will take a look at cash games. Cash games went extremely, extremely well. And then we will take a look at my single entry. So we'll go over my single entry first. So we were extremely high on Trevor Lawrence doubles in GPPs today. Unfortunately, if you didn't have Justin Fields, you just didn't cash. So that's why I didn't cash. But the core that I had for GPPs today was Trevor Lawrence, Christian Kirk, Travis Kelce, and Dameon Pierce. All of which absolutely smashed. Kelce, smashed. Christian Kirk, absolute smash. Trevor Lawrence, absolute smash. Pierce was fine, but yeah, just extremely, extremely unlucky that Justin Fields went for 50 fantasy points at 30% ownership. Yeah, I bubbled. Well, I didn't bubble. I missed cash by like 10 points. So if Justin Fields doesn't go for like 43 fantasy points at 32% at 6.5K, I probably cash. Like, there's no reason that this lineup is cashing over this lineup. There's just no. It's so dumb, just so dumb. But I felt like I built a pretty good lineup. I felt like we were on the right stuff today in the Discord. Also, yes, by the way, if you're watching from YouTube, please come over to this subreddit, DFS Sports, where I make posts every day for NFL, NBA. I already made my NBA post. I do make NBA content. This video will be up as well on that. My username is shook_dash. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can message me on Twitter at ToryLangley1992 as well. I will always answer you guys. So yeah, please, please, please. If you ever have any questions, just you can ask me. I will always answer you. So yeah, that was my GPP lineup for the day. Unfortunately, we missed. Unfortunately, if Justin Fields wasn't just phenomenal, apparently, which he has been phenomenal, probably would have cashed. So unfortunate. Obviously, I didn't have Tony Pollard. Going Kamara definitely killed that. That might have been a mistake on my part, not getting to Tony Pollard, but I really like this Kamara Deontay Johnson correlation. So I was fine not eating the Tony Pollard chalk because I had Tony Pollard in cash, so I already had exposure to him. So I was fine with him going off. I was fine with him, doing whatever. So I didn't get there in GPPs. Might have been a mistake, but this is my cash lineup. So I went Justin Fields, Tony Pollard, Alvin Kamara, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Greg Dulcich, Foster Moreau, Cardinals D. I went double tight end. I think double tight end made a ton of sense this week. Mainly because I wanted Tyreek Hill and Amon-Ra St. Brown. It was really hard to fit Tyreek Hill, especially just by himself. Especially if you wanted to add Amon-Ra St. Brown to that, you needed to double punt tight end, and you needed Donovan Peoples-Jones. And I really, really wanted Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I really, really wanted Tyreek Hill. So that's why I went double tight end. It did work out. Fortunately, Foster Moreau caught a touchdown. And fortunately, Amon-Ra St. Brown absolutely smashed at 38% ownership in cash. And then Tony Pollard was an absolute must for cash games at sub 50%. The core that I had for cash, what was it? Justin Fields, Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra. Did I have Amon-Ra? No, okay. It was Justin Fields, Tyreek Hill, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Alvin Kamara, I believe. It was the Kamara Pollard, one of those two. I believe it was Kamara, but good overall, really profitable day. And let's go over this NFL showdown slate. So we'll go over Washington first. So Taylor Heineke, 9K, going to be road dogs up against Philly. I think he's going to be underowned, which I think makes him a solid option at 9K. I think he's going to be like sub 40%. Whenever you get a quarterback at sub 40%, especially at this price tag at 9K, he's going to be a solid option. Now, he's probably going to have to throw the ball a ton. They're probably going to be trailing in this game. So I do like Taylor Heineke quite a bit for GPPs, and I like Terry McLaurin quite a bit for GPPs. The good thing with these Washington wide receivers is they're just not going to leave the field. So Terry McLaurin played 100% of the snaps last game. Logan Thomas played 45 at the possible 63. Where is Curtis Samuel? Curtis Samuel played 47 of the possible 63. So the good thing here is the Washington wide receivers are just not leaving the field. So I do like I do like Heineke, and I do like McLaurin quite a bit for GPPs. If you wanted to get different, McLaurin is the clear number one wide receiver one on this team. We haven't seen that big blow up game yet, but I think it could happen against Philly. Now, obviously, it's not the best matchup, but division game, I think it could happen on the road. I think it definitely could happen. I really do. Obviously, this isn't the best situation for it, but I think it could happen. So I like both the top two guys here for Washington. The running backs between Gibson and Robinson. Gibson played last week 36 of the possible 63 snaps, and Robinson played 28 of the possible 63. Obviously, there is no McKissick. Gibson is going to be more of that passing down back, while Robinson is going to be more of that ground and pound running back. So it really depends on what you think for game script here. So obviously, personally, I think that Washington is going to be down. So if I'm going to pick a running back from the Washington side of things, I'm probably going to pick Antonio Gibson at 6.8K. I definitely do prefer Gibson to Robinson anyway, regardless. So if I had to choose one of the running backs, it definitely would be Gibson. Now, I don't think he's a smash play. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to play him, but I think he's a fine option. Curtis Samuel at 6.6K has cooled off the past 2 weeks, targets-wise, volume-wise, has gotten there on touchdown the last week. At 6.6K, I think he's a solid option. He played, 47 of the possible 63 snaps. Now, has lost usage from the beginning of the year, but I'm not too worried about that at all, especially if Terry McLaurin gets locked up. I think that could leave some opportunities for Curtis Samuel. So I do like the wide receivers here for Washington. I like Heineke, I like McLaurin, I like Curtis Samuel. Going down, already talked about Robinson. Jahan Dotson is going to be back. Now, we're going to have to monitor the situation here. If he is going to be full go, I think 5K is a little bit too cheap for him as well. So I would like him at 5K, assuming he is full go. So I like all the Washington wide receivers. It's kind of crazy, but I do. Especially with them having to throw the ball this game, and especially with them projecting to be down. I do like the Washington wide receivers. Joey Sly, I think it's a fine option at kicker. I definitely do prefer Jake Elliott, but a fine option. Not going to get to the Commanders D, but if you want to go there, I don't hate it. With defense, we want to target defenses that are going to go against teams that are going to be dropping back more and throwing the ball more. Now, the Eagles are a run-first team, so that obviously hurts the ceiling for the Commanders D. So just a contrarian play for me. And I kind of like Logan Thomas at 2.6K. Played a lot more snaps last week. Logan Thomas played 45 of the possible 63 snaps. Obviously, we know Logan Thomas is a very, very talented tight end. He hasn't had a good year, obviously, but I still believe in him, and I think this price tag is just too cheap. So I do like Logan Thomas at that price tag. Outside of that, I don't think I'm probably going to get to anyone else on the Washington side of things. So on to Philadelphia. Same thing that I said about Washington. These Philadelphia wide receivers are just not leaving the field. So we know what we're going to get from them. Like Dallas Goedert's playing huge amount of snaps. A.J. Brown's playing massive amounts of snaps. Devontae Smith playing massive amounts of snaps. So we know what we're going to get from these guys. Philadelphia is extremely easy to go over. This will only take a second. So, obviously, Jalen Hurts at the top. 12.2K, I think, makes for your optimal spend up on the slate. Going to be extremely popular. I don't have to go over why Jalen Hurts is a good play. They're favored. They're at home. You know, he's going to run on his legs. He has touchdown on the ground upside, touchdown through the air upside. They've been throwing the ball a little bit more. If Washington can keep this game a little bit closer, you could see it was just a massive, massive game here from Jalen Hurts. So obviously, love Jalen Hurts. Between the wide receivers of A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, I might prefer Devontae Smith point per dollar. But that doesn't mean I don't like A.J. Brown. I like both quite a bit. I think I just prefer Devontae Smith point per dollar. But also ownership is going to decide that for me. Obviously, A.J. Brown is the much, much safer play over Devontae Smith. But I think both have a similar ceiling. So just give me the guy that is cheaper. Because we want that ceiling outcome. We don't want floor and GPPs. We want that ceiling outcome. So just give me the guy that's cheaper, point per dollar, that has a similar ceiling to A.J. Brown. So I do like Devontae Smith, point per dollar, a little bit more than A.J. Brown, but I think both are very good plays. I think Miles Sanders is very, 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 very safe. With them being favored at home, $5 running back, you can expect 20 plus touches from him. He's basically a $5 running back here. So I think Miles Sanders is a very, very safe play on the slate. And I think Dallas Goedert's a very safe play as well at 7.8K. Basically averaging 7 targets a game. Probably going to get you 10 to 15 fantasy points. And if he gets in the end zone, even better. Very safe play. The Eagles D at 6.4K, it's just going to be an ownership thing for me. If they're going to be popular, I want absolutely nothing to do with them. But if they're going to be low owned, then yeah, I'm fine taking shots on the Eagles D, especially with the Washington Commanders having to drop back more with them projecting to be down, which definitely helps the Eagles' ceiling. Let me explain why. Because when a defense is going against a team that's going to be dropping back more, that gives the defense that's going against that team a higher ceiling, because they're going against a team that's going to be throwing the ball a lot more, which means that defense has more opportunities to get picks, fumble recoveries, sacks, etc., etc., etc. So I would just watch ownership for the defenses. If Eagles D is going to be popular, I want nothing to do with them. If they're going to be low, then I definitely take some shots. Gainwell, I think, is a little bit too pricey for my liking, but he'll be down on he'll be in on like third downs, sometimes in the red zone. I think Jake Elliott is going to be extremely popular for a good reason. There isn't much value on the slate. The Eagles are favored, and when they're favored, they're going to kick more field goals. So I think Jake Elliott looks like a very good value play. Quez Watkins, I think, is a little bit too pricey as well. How many snaps did he play? He played 35 of the possible 65 snaps, so a little bit less than half the snaps. At 4.2K, I think it's fine. He does have a ceiling. Jalen Hurts will look for him downfield sometimes. I think it's doable. Boston Scott at 1.6K, just a dart. Pretty much just a dart, but he will be used at some times. I kind of like Zach Pascal at 1.4K. Now, he's not going to play a ton of snaps, but he'll probably play around 30% of the snaps. At 1.4K, with not a lot of value on the slate, I actually think it's doable. I really do. I think it's doable. I think you could definitely do worse. There just isn't any value on this slate. So I actually think Zach Pascal is playable. But outside of that, guys, I think that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.